Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks again so much for the support in the last few videos. It's absolutely going insane. And in this one, it's going to be jam-packed. We have new tyres on the bike. What does it feel like going from knobbly tyres to a more road-biased tyre? We're going to be going over some modifications to the bike cosmetically. There's the reasons why I've made those changes. I will then be talking about my new Trip Machine boots because they've arrived. Let's get into it. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thanks again so much for the support in the last few videos. It's absolutely going insane. So this is it, the video before the Lake District, and it's going to be quite jam-packed. So we're going to talk about new tyres on the bike. They're getting fitted today. So I'll be doing a review on what's it feel like with the current knobblies to what it feels like when I've got brand spanking new tyres on the bike. So thanks very much for your motorbikes to sort me out in such a short period of time. I do really appreciate that one. I will then be talking about my new Trip Machine boots because they've arrived. So again, thanks very much Trip Machine for sending those over. If you haven't seen my video where I do my gear review and I talk about I've got some new Trip Machine boots that I absolutely love. I went for the mock toe ones because for me, it's kind of my style on and off the bike. They haven't held up very well in a very short period of time that I've been wearing the boots. Reached out to Trip Machine and what they've said is I can have a replacement pair or a Brute boot. The Brute boot has got a reinforced toe box. And again, they've said, that shouldn't really happen anymore because these ones are built like a tank. And the boots are very similar to what I used to wear. So in terms of stylistic choices, they're very much the same. But I think in my head, I want to take those on the kind of longer runs that I'm going to be doing rather than the short cruising, going out and seeing friends on the bike, that kind of thing. So in my head, that's what I'm going to do, but I'll be testing those out and seeing how those feel. But for now, I'm going to give you all a sneak peek on what the boots are like breaking in. Outfit for today, because the gear video did so well, is I've got my RS team jacket on for a bit of a change, just a regular t-shirt because it is going to be warm later on, and I've got my John Doe black skinny Dylan jeans on. And then normally I pair these with the mock toes. I still might pair them with the mock toes or the Brute boots, which I haven't actually broken in yet. Okay, so this has just arrived today, so thanks very much Trip Machine. These are a replacement for my mock toe boots. So if you've seen my gear review, if not, I'll put a link up here. You'll see that my mock toe boots haven't really held up very well in the few wears that I've had with them. So I reached out to Trip Machine and what they said was we could either send you a replacement pair because they will wear over time, completely get that, but they shouldn't be wearing as quick as what they have done for me. So they did tell me that I could get a pair of Brute, which look like this. So these do have a reinforced toe. So they should hold up a lot better and they're built like a tank. New goodies. Chain guard to replace the down and out. These bits just make the bike look a bit better with the Union Jack. Also got some new carb caps to replace the mountain ones that I've got. This is a rear tail guard, put my number plate on. And I've got some fork seals. Take these off. So a lot of you were commenting and messaging me on Instagram asking me why I'm getting rid of my down and out stuff. Personal preference at the minute, I think I had an idea of what I wanted the bike to look like at that moment in time. There's a look that I'm going for, but I can't really explain it. And with down and out and stuff all over the bike, it's just not something that I want anymore. Hence the reason why I'm putting some of the stock stuff back on, selling the down and out stuff, because as well I needed to generate some funds to get the bike how I wanted, I guess is the best way to explain it. So I've bought some stuff and these are going to go on the bike. So this is what we've got. Chain guard, fork seals, which is more of a winter job, some new carb caps. I'm going to put like a Union Jack theme on the bike and then a rear tail tidy because since I've taken the mud guard off, it's just all open underneath my bike. So I needed something to kind of just secure that and I want to say make it a bit more waterproof, but just have something there because there's going to be no rear mud guard. And again, number plate then goes on the back, which is all well and good. So you join me on a day where I am swapping out parts and getting rid of the DNO stuff, just because I fancy going a bit more classic and I just don't want down and out written all over my bike anymore. So I am now going to tackle the electrics and I'm actually going out for a ride tomorrow, so I need to get this right. Got the bike on the rear rack. It's time to install the new parts. Okay, so first things first is taking this thing off and putting my new tail tidy on, just to give me something to protect all this, because at the minute there's nothing there, which I don't like. Don't know, let me know what you think. Is it better than the 8-ball? So we're back in the garage for now because it's far too hot outside. I've got some connectors. I now understand where all this stuff goes in. I'm going to connect everything. That then means I can take this off and then put the light on the back where it's supposed to be. Apologies for the sandals. Moment of truth. Done it. I've took a video, screenshot everything. I know how that goes in. Now it's just time to do it and then make sure everything else works. Front working, rear working. We are good to go. So I've just dropped the bike off. They have squeezed me in. So I get it there between 9 and 10. It's a little bit after 9 because the traffic getting into York. This might be really shaky, so apologies. Now I'm going to head into York Triumph and see if I can be sneaky and drop off a work sticker for the QR code. I had 2 of them. They're both in York actually. I might keep one for Hardknott. What do you think? Reminds me actually, I did do a video on like a York Triumph tour and a bit of the York bar walls. So if you haven't seen that, you can go check it out. But if you have seen it, here's something, a different angle. Place for your helmets, books to read, sticky clean, idle. I think this stuff's really cool, put in the garage and stuff. So I've taken the hat off, so there's some serious helmet hair, so apologies for that. It's rude to wear your hat inside. I was always told that growing up. There's so much traffic. I actually turned the bike off at one point because I was just stationary, couldn't go anywhere, and there was a 4-way temporary traffic connection system in place. The bike does run really hot. Real light issues. If you haven't seen that, go back and check it out. I feel like I'm saying that a lot, but if you are new, you don't understand the issues I've had with this bike. So anyway, if you're not bothered about that and you just see it for the Lake District stuff, welcome. But I need to eat. The York motorbikes fit me in. So the reason why I'm actually at Triumph today is because I need about 2 to 3 hours. Not because of the time it takes to change the tyres over, because they've actually squeezed me in between other jobs, which I'm super grateful for. Actually riding here didn't feel that bad on the knobby. I could put up with it, but I just don't want to travel miles and miles and miles and then do it that way. It's going to be a long day today, so I feel like I'm going to need this and probably a few more of these. So that was a very productive Triumph shop. I have upgraded my helmet, dropped the bike off just under 2 hours ago. Gave them a call because there's only so much things I can look at in that Triumph shop, and the longer I stay there, the more money I'll potentially spend. I've called the York motorbike shop and my bike is just coming off the ramp. Result. Hopefully you can all hear me over that noise. Bike, new tyres, even though they're new and I've been told just to ride carefully for about 100 miles or so, feels so much different and so much better than the knobbly tyres. But anyway, so far so good with the tyres. I'm just gonna go for a little cruise around, bed these in for 50, 60 miles or so to get the extra miles in, and then that means I've done a good 200-ish miles before I get to Hardknott, so the tyres then will be well and truly bedded in. But the tyres I've gone for, I need to read them on the sides, are the Michelin Road Classic tyres. They haven't taken anything away from the look of the bike. Maybe to you it has, but it's definitely just handles a lot better. So thanks everyone for tuning into this one. It's a bit of a bonus episode just to tie everything up while I'm in the lakes and just give you a bit of an insight in terms of what's going on and just recapping the past few videos. So I had a dilemma, which was, do I get what everyone else gets and get a wingman and strap it to the Bonneville? It goes aesthetically, super easy and quick to set up, or so I've heard, and you get everything. Roll it all up into one, put it on your bike, off you go. It was on there, it was in the basket. I was almost going to click the pay it now button and get it delivered. The only thing for me that put me off that was the size of the tent and the weight of it. And I'll explain a little bit about that. So with all the issues that I've had with the bike in terms of how I feel the bike handles and all that kind of stuff, I didn't really want to strap something that heavy and bulky to the back of the bike. Also, my other thought process was, if it absolutely pours it down, yes, it's all waterproof, but where am I going to put anything else that is in there? So all my camping equipment will be on the back of the bike. Everything else is going to have to go into my only other, I guess, pioneer solution, which is the Trip Machine Rambler bag. I have got a waterproof bag that goes over that, but again, just space-wise, it leaves me quite limited. So I did a bit of research and actually found that some people who don't use that use a dry bag, throw everything in that, and actually there's more room in there for you to fit other things in. So what I did was looked into that and then took that approach. In terms of everything, I laid in a few tents, and actually I wanted something really similar to Wingman for size, but what I found actually was a 2-man tent from Go Outdoors. It was under £60 with a discount code that I had, and it had another separate porch to it as well. So again, that's not fully waterproof. The water could get in there if it really wanted to, or if the ground was super wet. But if it's dry, it's not really going to be an issue. And I feel like it's a good place for me just to store everything. Again, that then zips up, so it's fairly secure. And again, I've then got a separate compartment as well for me to then sleep in. So tent wise, I'm actually really happy with it. Setup could be slightly easier, and what I mean by that is, once the poles are up, it's kind of like anchoring them in and getting them taut. The very last one is a pain in the ass to get done. So if I am on my own, it's just, brute force gets it in there. But if I've got other people around, they can lend a hand. It then actually goes in not that bad, and actually dismantling it and taking it down is super quick. It doesn't, at least for me, fall back the way that I expected it to fall back, which I guess is another pro for the Wingman or similar things that are out there. But what I tried to do with this was lay it out flat. It didn't work. Put the mattress on top and then my sleeping bag, roll it all up like a Wingman, and the idea then that I'd go into the dry bag. Yeah, stupid idea, but tried it, tested it, didn't quite work for me. So compact everything down as small as I possibly can, put it into the dry bag. What that then means is it has more room for other things, such as food if I needed it, cutlery, camping stoves. I could, the world's my oyster in terms of that one. And this is only a 50-litre bag. I could upgrade that to a 70, 100-litre bag. And again, fit more and more things in there. So to recap, for the minute, that for me is absolutely spot on. But I'm still interested to know what you feel in the comments. Should I have gone for a Wingman, or do you feel actually getting this at a budget price for, I want to say, a bit more luxury? Although I've not had a Wingman in my hands to test out, try out. So again, probably a little bit biased to go with my own at the minute, but I feel like I've made the right decision. So that's all the camping gear done and dusted. Setup for the bike is going to be bag on the back. I've got my tie down straps and I've got the rock straps on there as well, so it'll be extra secure. I'm taking my Trip Machine tool bag, then got the Trip Machine Rambler bag. I've upgraded the straps. Yeah, I've upgraded the straps. Trip Machine reached out to me, which was in one of my other previous videos, with some updated straps. So they gave me 4 straps now. 2 go under the seat, 2 go over the seat. And I've played around with that, and I feel like I'm still undecided which one is the best setup. But in terms of the security and safety of that, my pannier rail's on, bag goes over the side. It's now got 4 anchor points rather than just the 2 that I was using before. It's definitely a lot more secure and a lot safer. And in terms of capacity, I think that's like a 40, 50 litre bag as well. It's absolutely huge. Again, sticking with Trip Machine, this isn't a sponsored video. I'm also going to use my tail tank bag. just for extra capacity, extra things should I need it. Again, I've got it, I may as well use it. And when the AC 500 does eventually happen, it'll make me just think, have I got too much stuff or do I need to take something else? I'd rather at this point have too much things with me that I don't need than me really needing something and then not having it. So I'll be putting that on my tank. And then just for a little bit of pizzazz, I have got, which I've not used yet, is my Trip Machine tank straps. So I'm going to put those on as well, just because I've not used them yet and I want to use them. So it looks like my bike will be fully decked out with Trip Machine stuff, barring the bag on the back. I have got my eye on an Outlaw bag, Trip Machine, if you're listening. But at the minute, yeah, it's just me saying about budgets and things, that's way out there. So I'd love to have that on the bike, at least stylistically. But for the minute, my setup on the bike, I believe, is the best one for me currently. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. So we've covered off camping stuff, covered off the bike, how the bike's going to look stylistically, a lot of Trip Machine stuff, Trip Machine boots. The thing that I asked on the other video was gloves, and they've arrived today, which prompted me to make this video as a recap. So the green gloves, these ones are Triumph gloves, and I got these an absolute bargain price. I think they were like £27 from Triumph, and they're like the Belstaff ones that I currently wear, but these are bigger. They look like they're a lot more comfy. I have tried them on, and they're definitely not as tight as the ones that I'm using. Actually, for size comparison, this is actually they look really similar. That's gonna pick up. They look really similar. So these are the Belstaff ones. These are the Triumph ones. They're really similar. You can see hopefully you can see the size difference in that. So I got them just because I wanted something a little bit different. And I did say I wanted something with a bit more protection. They are CE rated, but they're really similar, again, to the gloves that I've currently got. So I probably will end up getting some other gloves in the future. I don't know why I bothered saying that, if I'm honest. Anyway,